dai tratti arcani, che sembrano provenire dalla notte del mito o da inimmaginabili incubi futuri. Questi ibridi postumani fra sculture africane, maschere di carnevale e costumi di film come Alien sono opera di Huma Bhabha, artista pakistana trapiantata a New York, a cui la collezione Maramotti di Reggio Emilia dedica una personale intitolata Players. In mostra 6 disegni recenti che rinnovano il tema dello stravolgimento dei visi già operato da espressionisti e cubisti, e 6 maschere degli anni Novanta.
They are more like heads, and because you can't put them on, so a mask is something that one can put on, but in a sense they are masks. But these are from the mid-90s, and I at that time decided to explore this idea, and I made them, and I wanted to kind of integrate my interests in horror and science fiction and the way the imagery is used in that with the idea of African sculpture and how masks are used there and how they can influence each other, and how I could come up with these individual kind of characters. I mean, I wanted to make them sort of very unique looking, not be able to trace them back to anything specific, because there was no, there's no history and there's no future, but they exist. And then these drawings were made recently. I've been working on these ink and pastel drawings for a few years, but I like in these ones, there are kind of this multiple heads that are emerging from the drawings that do in some ways reflect on these things, but they are different.
Le figure apocalittiche che abitano l'immaginario di Huma hanno molteplici ispirazioni. L'attività di ritrattista della madre, viaggi in Italia e Grecia compiuti in infanzia, ma soprattutto un interesse per il paesaggio, per le rovine e le terre di nessuno, siano esse della nativa Karachi o di New York.
The idea of the ruin is very interesting to me. Like if you travel around like Karachi, there's a lot of construction going on, so there's always rubble, like piles of sand or rocks or this or that, so they kind of add to this kind of way a place looks. And then right next door, in a place like Afghanistan, where there's so much bombardment going on, things are just being turned into rubble, So, and the way that New York is constructed, it sort of also has that feeling of, it's kind of a hardcore looking city, It's not so beautiful. It's very kind of, it can be very dirty, and it can be very kind of, there's a grunginess to it, So I think the sensibilities of the two places has come into my work.
Artista nella cui identità si fondono i 2 emisferi del mondo, Huma Bhabha tiene a sottolineare come lo scontro di civiltà fra Oriente e Occidente sia soltanto un'invenzione della politica.
Yes, of course, on the surface there are differences, but human beings are exactly the same. I mean, now everybody talks about globalization, but before, you can go back thousands of years, and there was a real mix of civilizations going on even then, where Greek and Indian civilizations were influencing each other because of trade and art. And so I'm a believer in that.